You're thinking about selling your property in 2025. One area to concentrate on is energy rating. If you want to get maximum value for your property, buyers are very focused on how energy efficient your home is. And that's mainly because, number one, they're more sustainable about the costs of running a house. But number two is the green mortgage rate. And what that means is that if you have an energy efficient home, an A or B, you'll get a better mortgage rate in comparison with what's deemed as a non-energy efficient home, a C or lower. So we want to give you some tips on how to improve your energy rating of your home. So take, for example, you have a 4-bedroom detached bungalow, 1960s build. How do you improve the energy rating of that property? So I'm joined here today by John O'Halloran of Energy Wise Ireland, and John is going to share some advice on how we can improve the energy rating of our property. Welcome, John.
Hi, Angela. Thank you very much for having me here today. So I suppose when we're looking at improving the energy rating of a property, the first thing we look at is the fabric of the building. So we're looking at the attic area, the walls, windows and doors. So we're looking at topping up the attic insulation is a very well granted measure that we can do. Again, a detached house, you're looking at €1,500 grant towards this, depending on the size of the house. But we often find that the cost over the grant measure for attic is very low. Similarly with the walls, if you have a cavity wall build, we can pump the cavities and improve the insulation levels in your cavity as well. Now, to complement this, you have to look at the windows, because windows is always a high heat loss and area. So you're looking at new triple glazed windows, but which gives a great uplift to the face of the house as well. So you're not only improving the energy, but you're improving the look, which will suit your customers, I think, on both fronts. And then all this complements how you can heat the house. So the most efficient way of heating your house is with a heat pump. So then you can simply install a heat pump. It can work with your existing radiators, which will all be taken care of with a survey by ourselves, which will size each individual radiator, and it can be retained if it meets the heat load of the house. If not, we might have to make some adjustments. But to get the process going, I suppose the key is to have your home energy assessment done. This is where we give you a roadmap of how you take your house from where it is now to where you want to be, whether that's a B2 or you might want to go higher up into the A's.
So that's the starting point for people. And John, if somebody wanted to, like, I understand if you're living in your home and you're going to be living there for a few years, for years to come, I should say, you'll want to I suppose set a plan and invest more. But for somebody who's thinking of selling and their main aim is to just get it up to a B energy rating, what are some cost-effective ways that they can do that?
I suppose the first thing to look at is the attic area. It's one of the cheapest areas to insulate. Again, that's why I referred to the cavity wall. So we're looking at a cavity wall is the second, probably easiest way. Very well granted as well. And then where's the windows and doors? It all depend on the property. If they were done if they were upgraded in the last 15 years, maybe they're okay. But anything older than that, anything single glazed is not going to be have a very good energy rating. So we'd be looking at, then you have like a €4,000 grant towards windows. There's €800 per door for a maximum of 2 doors. So like it does give you a facelift to the property as well.
Yes. And if you had somebody with an open fire, which a lot of older properties have, is it worth them upgrading and putting in a stove?
Yes, definitely. So your open fire is like a hole in the house. So one of the first measures is usually to block up the fireplace. But you can be an inset stove is a good option too, just to stop the heat loss there. So that can be worked with alongside your other upgrades as well.
Okay, great. And John, what grants are available out there, say, to do up a property, as I say, going back to the 1960s, 3-bedroom bungalow? What are the main grants available?
So I suppose the biggest grants available, and this is through the one-stop shop. You have your heat pump is up to 6,500, but you get an additional €2,000 towards your central heating system on a detached house. But with the one-stop shop as well, there is a launch bonus which is still in place of another €2,000. So you're actually getting a grant aid of 10,500 towards your heating system, which is phenomenal.
Would you
Grant
mind
aid.
just explaining what the one-stop shop is, John?
So the one-stop shop is where a contractor comes in, organizes your home energy assessment right through the grant application, carries out the works and manages all those works on site. And the beauty of the one-stop shop is the homeowner only pays net of the grants. So if your bill comes to 60,000 and your grants are 20,000, you only pay us 40,000, then we claim the grants back once the work is complete.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. And obviously things like energy efficient bulbs, helped with the BR as well.
Yeah, so there's simple measures like the energy efficient bulb. But I think a lot of bulbs now are nearly all LEDs. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
finding a lot of surveys. I suppose it's something that is naturally over time has evolved. So we're more
Yes.
looking at again, the fireplace is a good point. Attic and walls are very well granted, so lower cost. Now there is three different types of wall insulation. You have internal wall insulation, cavity wall insulation that I spoke about before, and external wall insulation. Now, internal wall insulation is intrusive, so we typically look at external wall insulation is more viable for a lot of people, but it's at more expense, but you get a much better energy rating after.
And where can somebody find out about all those grants, John?
By contacting ourselves. And the beauty of the home energy assessment is it gives you a roadmap of how to get to, like you spoke about, a B2, but then you might have other people who want to aim higher than that. So it will tell us how to get to a B2, but also how to improve past that, all the way up to an A1. And then in some instances, you can choose which measures suit you to suit your budget and how far we can go.
Okay, and build it over time. And
Yeah,
can you tell me,
but
John,
there
what's
is
the
only 12 months for the grants, so we have to be just clear that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay.
Okay, good
If you're
point.
looking at doing it in stages, you can look at the individual grants. We can help
Okay.
people with that too.
Okay. And tell me, John, what's the difference between a home energy assessment and a building energy rating cert?
So your BER is telling you what your heat loss of your house is at the moment. So if it's in the C's or the D's, it's a good document, it's good information, but there's no technical information that comes with that. It comes with an advisory report. But again, your home energy assessment then is a deep survey into your house. It looks at what's in your walls, what type of windows, what year were they date stamped, what installations in your attic. They'll measure the insulation, record the type of installations in it, and then recommend on that basis where it is most cost effective to improve. Again, coming back to the roadmap, giving you a roadmap of how to insulate your house to reduce the heat loss of the house and basically get that energy rating as low as possible.
So it's definitely more thorough assessment,
Yeah,
giving you more information
yeah,
about
it's
the
a
property. Okay,
and the more
great.
information the homeowner can have, makes that assessment even more accurate. So if you have had works carried out previously, that if you have proof of that, it makes it more accurate for the BR assessor.
Okay. So top three tips, John, on how to improve the energy rating. What are your top three?
Number one, get your BR assessment done, get your home energy assessment, and that will give you a foolproof plan of how to get where you want to be. It's giving you education on the best measures to carry out. Then you can relate that back to your budget, and you can always use that going out for individual grants if the whole one-stop shop isn't suitable.
If you want to spread it.
Number two, fabric first. Get your attic insulation done, your walls pumped if it's possible. Number three, then you're looking at your renewable energy, as in your heat pumps and your solar PV, which can all be got here at Energy Wise. We can help you with all those measures.
Great. John, thank you so much for that. And John can be contacted at EnergyWise Ireland. And they also have some very helpful videos on their website. So thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Magella.